Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is my review for Shenmue the Animation, the first two episodes. It's a new original Crunchyroll and Adult Swim collaboration based on the video game, and I think you're going to enjoy this. The first episode has dropped, next episode comes out next week. They've given us screeners for this, so I'm here to talk non-spoilers as much as you can, talk non-spoilers about this. Let's jump in. Based on the iconic game franchise, Shenmue the Animation follows Ryo Hazuki, a martial arts trainer on a quest of vengeance against his father's murderer. So here's the thing. I played one of the games, and what I played of it I enjoyed, but I never got around to playing all of them. But I know just by the fan base that it is much loved. I was excited, I guess tentatively nervous for the fan base on how the adaptation would come, what that would look like, the animation style, the story. I think everybody that loves an IP, when you go into it being adapted into a new medium, you will be nervous, and that's fair enough, because when you take something that you've been invested, especially video games, when it's hours and hours and hours, I think there are 3, and you've played it for, combined probably over 100 hours, depending on how many times you've played them through, you come into a new story, or a way somebody else is telling that story, and you're like, please don't ruin it. And time again, we get things like Star Wars, where it just doesn't live up to your own expectations. When you get an adaptation, it's very hard for the creator to, I guess, live up to those expectations that everybody has, because everybody's expectations are slightly different because it's your own mind. So I went into this thinking, oh, how is it going to be? And I have to say, I'm quite surprised. I think, for the most part, they've captured the heart of what is this animated game, and the animation itself reminds me of like an old school anime that we used to watch back in the day, from like the early Dragon Ball Z to early Studio Ghibli. It is set in 1986, I believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below, but it feels right for the animation of where the story is set. It's basically about this one character who goes on a journey. It's like a vengeance story. He has a couple of people that he meets along the way. He learns more about martial arts. He's schooled in the beginning in this first episode, where his father is taken out. That is in the trailer. It's not really a spoiler. And so he has this vengeance storyline. He meets his nemesis. That is the first episode. The second doesn't progress the story much more. And if you're thinking that you're going to, if you're going to have our two protagonists meet up, they don't yet. Although we have continuing scenes with her where she is recreating or retelling the poem about the kind of the fable about who he is, about this guy who has power that he doesn't know how to control it, and fighting the dragon. And I thought that was a really interesting way to intertwine it, because it's a nice fruition of telling it at the beginning, telling it at the end, in amongst the story of trying to build up this character, which I thought they did quite well just in 2 episodes, because they're introducing characters that we know. There's lots of Easter eggs for fans of the games. They'll see little bits around in the way they talk, the way they do things, the way the sound effects comes across, things in the background I think you'll be really impressed by. But as an outsider, I don't think you need to have played the games. I think you'll enjoy it for what it is. If not, it's a bit slow, but when you get to the action, I think they've done it in a way that it looks visually really entertaining, except you want more, so it leaves you wanting more. But they're definitely building up to it. It's being bought for 13 episodes. I don't know that we'll get more. Depends on, I guess, whether fans find value in it and finds its own audience, whether they get more. But for the moment, it's just that 13 order. So far, I'm very impressed. The color palette, the design of the characters, all seem very true to the game, and also honest to the kind of the period that it's in. From score that seems authentic, to the voice casting, which is also really done well. When it gets to the fighting, I was really impressed of some of the movements of how they showed it, because it's quick, but you also get to see some of that action. Reminded me a little bit of Ninja Scroll. Has that sort of early feel to it, which I really appreciated. So all in all, these first 2 episodes have done really well. If this wasn't on your radar, why don't you check it out? I think you'll enjoy watching it week on week. We don't have to binge watch everything, and maybe go and pick up the games and kind of refamiliarize yourself if it's been a while, like I might have to go and do. But for the most part, I'm excited to see where this anime goes. Let me know your favorite moments in these 2 episodes, well, the first one and when you've seen the second one. So far, I think it's very promising. I won't rate it yet, obviously. I've only seen the 2 episodes. Individual ratings of the episode would be quite high, like 4 Nicolas Cages out of 5, because of the showcasing and building the story, having that revenge plot line, and then the second one, him continuing in the second episode, continuing to start to track down the people that might be responsible. He's trying to track down that one guy, so he needs to go into the underworld. Basically, he's all in the port business and people that are bypassing the law and coming to their little town without actually registering, and he's finding himself in places that he shouldn't be. And that he is a lot stronger than most bad guys, which I think is a lot of fun. The fact that he's a fish out of water in the knowledge that he doesn't really know how strong he is. But we also know when it comes to the main protagonist, or the main bad guy, he's got a lot to learn. And I think that'll be the journey until we finally get that. You know, like video games, you get stronger along the way until you meet the boss. It's that. So let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks so much for watching this, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.